I would like you to sit with yourself for 15, 20 minutes every day. And I'd love you to do it with a pen and paper. And I would love you to do it in an undistracted space. So what I mean by that is I would love you to do it away from music, away from people, away from TV, wherever you can be in your own space. That is really important. And as you sit down at the start, I'd love you to just try and relax yourself. And a really simple way that I do is that I breathe in slowly through my nose. I hold my breath in for a little while and then I breathe out. So I might breathe in for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, and breathe out for 5 seconds. I repeat this a few times over. The first time I just do it kind of unconsciously. The second time I kind of count for the 5 seconds. The third time as I breathe in, I really kind of imagine that I'm breathing a calming, relaxing, grounding energy in that new breath into my body. When I hold for 5 seconds, I kind of feel that air working its way through my body and perhaps picking up anything that's not serving me, any stress, any baggage, any worry, any issue inside me. And as I breathe out, I really imagine myself breathing out those stresses, those issues, those things that aren't serving me. And I repeat that process once more. So I breathe in for 5, imagining that fresh breath in. I hold it inside me, feeling it work its way around me, picking up anything that's not serving me. And then I breathe it out. And as I do that, I notice I calm, I ground, I relax down. And so I look at my pen and paper in front of me, I pick up the pen, and I just listen to myself. And if that's a little bit hard, perhaps I'm a bit distracted, I literally write down what's on my mind. And I'm always interested by what comes up. Sometimes it can be perhaps something that I'm excited for in the day or anxious about that's coming in the day. Perhaps it might be something that came up the day prior. And oftentimes it's some weird random thought from years ago. But whatever it is, I give it space to come out. What I'm amazed about is how much stuff is running around our heads and, to be honest, draining us a little bit, distracting us a little bit. And oftentimes the simple process of just taking that from our heads and writing it out onto a piece of paper, it can in itself remove that thought, remove that idea bouncing around your head, and actually bring a bit of ease, bring a bit of relaxation, bring a bit of presence to you. So for whatever I might say, what's on my mind, I'll write out. And that, as I said, that in itself is a huge therapy. But sometimes it might be like an ambition that I have for the day. I have a meeting and I'm like, so what's on my mind? The meeting's on my mind. Okay, why is it on my mind? Because it's really important. Why is it important? Well, if it goes well, I might get a big deal. Okay, what happens if you get that deal? Well, this is the impact that will bring. What happens if I don't get that deal? This is the impact that will bring. Okay, well, I really want this to happen. So what could I do perhaps to set myself up to be a bit better off in achieving that deal? And what I'm trying to describe to you is I start to explore the thoughts. I start to explore the possibilities. I start to explore what could go right, what could go wrong. What could I do to make it right? And I start to bring into consciousness the things that I could do to create the day I want. And perhaps the things I should be conscious of to avoid having the day that I don't want. And this process is fascinating for me. It's essentially a kind of a little bit of reflection, a little bit of self-inquiry. But what it does is it raises a consciousness. Sorry, first things first, it helps relax what might be festering around in your head. But then the second thing is that it raises a kind of a consciousness of your priorities, or what really it is that you want out of your day. It draws a sensitivity to perhaps avoiding some patterns and identifying the things that serve you a little bit more in your day. And little by little, You start to prioritize your day. You start to think clearer. You get a lot of like annoyances out of your head. You start to bring a sense of kind of priority to your day. Or perhaps it's, you're reflecting on the day prior and you're reflecting on something happened, and you might say, what's on my mind? Well, this issue that happened. Well, what happened? This is what happened. Why did it happen? Bang. What could I perhaps do to make sure it doesn't happen again? Interesting. So what have I learned from this? In that session, in that case, as a reflection, you start to pull learnings from past issues, past challenges, and again, you raise them into your consciousness to set you up to be that little bit better off for going forward. And you identify perhaps some of the issues, some of the patterns that might not be serving you, and again, you raise them into your consciousness. And what I find in this whole world of coaching is that oftentimes all we need to do is to see, to identify certain issues, and almost as soon as we identify them unconsciously in the background, we go to work and we start addressing them, and that might be reducing certain patterns and increasing others. It might be helping you speak up when you should. It might help you reprioritize. I really believe, and it's a kind of a funny thing as we training to be life coaches, to work with others. But actually, for me, I really believe no one can be a better coach to yourself than yourself. And this is the tool that really has helped me self-coach so much.